You're watching Oilers Nation Everyday with Tyler Yaremchuk. Your one-stop shop for all things Oilers.
The promo code NATION, whatever the moment. It is never ordinary at Bet365. Shout out once again, Sports Closet Studio. I missed the plug, Liam. I'm a little rusty today after not doing the show yesterday, but from jerseys to hats to the legendary foam finger, you'll find it all and more at the Sports Closet. Did you miss me?
Did I miss you?
Yeah.
It was a lot quieter around here. I'll tell you that much. I had 2 days at home. I came in yesterday. Reese and I had a great show, along with Pat. Well, Pat was here. Peyton stuck around for a little bit too. So, yeah, it was lonely yesterday.
Oh, people are saying I was muted for the lead. I'm good now.
They'll never know.
Should we restart? Can we re-give him the lead? All right, let's go to ISO. Oh, there we go. Oilers versus Sharks. I haven't seen a mismatch this bad since Waz and the craps table. Let's get into it with the lead. All right, there you go. Now we're good. Now we're all sorted out. We're starting the show properly. Shout out to Sports Closet. From jerseys to hats to the legendary foam finger. You'll find it all and more at the Sports Closet. 3 locations in Edmonton. Anyways, Oilers Sharks tonight, Liam.
Sharks, Oilers, tonight, midnight, mountain time.
Well,
on the moon. Or we'll be watching from the moon in the Shark Tank.
They always love to do this to us once a year. They just give us that one 8:30 Sharks game on a weeknight, and you're just...
You know, we've had some good memories with it, though.
What's the building availability like in San Jose, though? That they can't just start this game at, 7 o'clock local time, 8 o'clock Mountain?
Yeah, I would imagine there's not a lot going on there. Do they have any other pro sports teams? The Barracuda, obviously. But I can't imagine they're playing tonight.
Yeah, there's no way they're playing tonight.
No one else. Sacramento's definitely not in San Jose. Couple of memories though. Mike Smith.
That pass was crazy.
Did I ask you about the last rookie goalie to play in San Jose?
No, you didn't.
Last rookie goalie to play in San Jose for the Oilers.
Oh, for the Oilers. Yeah. Stuart Skinner got a shutout.
He did.
Bang.
There you go.
That was 2021?
Something like that. What happened the next day?
They sent him back to Bakersfield.
I think he got a shutout in his next start in Bakersfield, too. The reason I brought that up is because I thought they were going to start Rodrigue tonight, and that's why I had that bit of information.
Well, and they're not starting Rodrigue tonight. So on that note, Liam, let's do a little. It is a short for Giant Game Day, but I wanted to start with, because it's going to lead to some other conversations here, a little bit of a lineup report for our friends over at Oodle Noodle, 15 locations across the Edmonton area. Shout out to Oodle Noodle. Download the app today. And if you sign up to their loyalty program, you're going to get 15,000 points. That's a $15 value. Oodle Noodle app.
I downloaded it yesterday, and I got it.
I'm craving it. I almost did it yesterday, and then I was like, I'm going to save it for tonight, Thursday, because then I have the leftovers for lunch on Friday. But now I think I'm going, because it's my fiance's birthday tomorrow. Also, crazy little birthday run. Happy birthday to our boy Bag Milk.
Yeah, happy birthday, BM. Happy birthday, Amber, tomorrow. April's a big
Happy birthday to my dad today.
Really?
My dad and BM, not the same person.
Yes, they are not the same person.
I got to hug Tyler's dad.
I also hugged my dad.
That is big time.
Crazy.
It was huge, dude.
Yeah, it was wild.
I had Oodle Noodle yesterday because, one, I wanted it, and two, I was watching the curling with Andrea yesterday, and that came on at that time. So we had the Oodle Noodle. Andrea mixed it up. She had the wonton soup. It was unreal.
Yeah, BM's a big wonton soup guy. He loves that.
Green onion cake. Of course, that was awesome.
Also, if you're wondering why the chair in the middle is empty, Jay was supposed to be... Oh, that's great timing.
There it is.
Straight to the washroom, as he does. Okay,
makes
we'll get Jay in a second. But let's continue with the lineup report. The Oilers' last game, Liam, went Dry Pods Arvidsson, Nuge, Hyman, Kapanen, Janmark, Skinner, Brown, Henrique, Jones, and Perry. Would you make any changes to that lineup tonight, considering you're in close proximity to Bakersfield? That is so distracting. Why didn't you close the door all the way?
He's pissing with the door open.
We are on fire today.
Welcome back, everybody.
I got Vegas brain.
Yeah.
Would I change the lineup? No. And I don't think Knobloch's going to do anything to change it either.
I don't think so
I understand
either.
the idea they're in Bakersfield. But Bakersfield they have a lot of games coming up, actually. I think they have back-to-backs this weekend at home, or maybe they're in Tucson. One of the two. They play Tucson. So, no, I wouldn't. The team actually played pretty well in Vegas. I think it'd be unfair. Although Max Jones, minimum Jones.
Yeah, he doesn't play.
No, he does not play.
Max Jones minutes the last few games here. What do we got?
He played 12 against Seattle.
Yeah. Because that was a that was a blow game. 6-11, 5-21, 12-29, then 8-31, 7-32. So he's only been over 8.5 minutes basically once in his last 5 games. I'm a big Noah Philp guy. I think you have Yaremchuk on the wing right now. I would have Philp up because he's played well, and I would waive Max Jones. But anyways, Jay, welcome. You can slide on in. We changed up the way it looks a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Watch out for Alex Plant.
Yeah, watch out for Alex Plant. People were just saying that the shot up at you wasn't the most flattering thing.
The shot up at me.
Well, before we had this year, it was a lot of leg spread.
Groin?
A lot of groin. Yeah, that's a good PG
Now
way
I
to put it.
can't see the screen.
Well, you can see Alex Plant.
Look how healthy
It is beautiful.
he
though.
is.
He does look healthy.
He's actually taken some massive steps forward the last month when we started to water
Well,
it.
that was huge. That was a big step.
Big decision there.
Yeah, water in the plant.
Yeah,
Who would've thought?
and also we started putting him by sunlight when we leave.
Yeah, that was big. He had 4 straight days of good sunlight in here. It's been
Yep.
nice while you guys were away. It wasn't too bad.
Anyways, back to the lineup report for the Oilers, or we just gave the Oilers, not expecting any changes tonight, whether that's right or wrong, whatever. We'll talk about the starting goaltending in a minute. For the San Jose Sharks, this is their lineup. Macklin Celebrini with Will Smith and Tyler Toffoli, the friendship line in San Jose. Alex Wenberg with William Eklund and Colin Graff. Ty Dellandrea with Carl Grunstrom and Cam Lund. Zach Ostapchuk, good St. Albert boy, with Noah Gregor, good Beaumont boy, and Barclay Goudreau as well.
Good boy.
Yeah, just a good boy.
Barclay Goudreau, yeah, just a good boy.
Wishes he was in New York.
Anywhere else.
This is major Decade of Darkness vibes from me. It's a top line that you're like, awesome, that should work. And then it's the rest of the lineup. William Eklund's good. Like, Wenberg's fine. The rest of that lineup is like, ooh.
Yeah, Colin Graff and Lund relatively young. I think Lund has only played 4 games. Graff signed last season. I think he was the, what do they call it, the Hobie Baker Award?
He was up there, maybe,
He was
yeah.
a finalist, whatever it was.
Sure.
But yeah, it's a tough forward group. I think they're excited for the season to end, and their recent run would also indicate that.
Yeah, on the blue line, Mario Ferraro with Timothy Liljegren, Lucas Carlson with Jack Thompson, Henry Thrun with Mark-Edward Vlasic.
Henry Thrun.
Shout out to Henry Thrun, friend of the program.
Tell me, what?
Last year when I was in Vegas for the draft, Johnny Lazarus is really good friends with Mario Ferraro.
Yes.
So Johnny was like, hey, I'm going to meet up with Mario Ferraro for a beer. Do you want to come? I'm like, sure, I'm in. So we were standing, having a beer, whatever, and I'm standing next to this other guy who looks innocent enough. And I was like, so how do you know Mario? And he goes, well, I also play for the Sharks. And it was Henry Thrun. And we ended up having a great conversation.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's why he's a friend of the program. Not that he's aware the program even exists, but he is a friend of the program.
We didn't know he existed.
Makes sense.
Either. Mario Ferraro. Mark-Edward Vlasic scored his first goal of the season last game.
Attaboy.
He's still going strong.
It's honestly quite surprising. And again, it probably says a lot to who he must be as a person. He's not a friend of the program, so I wouldn't know who he must be as a person or the competitive level, because he's 38 years old. Mm-hmm. He has made boatloads of money.
All the money.
He has been so injured the last 2 years. Why he has not just put his hand up and been like, you know what? LTIR sounds good to me.
Yeah. They might need him not to go on LTIR.
Yeah, to make the floor.
They just need money on the bank.
Well, he's the floor guy.
I guess. Anyway,
He
it's
gets him to the dance floor.
Well, it's the San Jose Sharks, and this one came from the game notes. Since the Oilers beat them in overtime, that was their only other meeting of the season, that 3-2 win. Ekholm scored late to tie the game, 14 seconds left. The Sharks have lost Mikhail Granlund, Cody Ceci, Jake Wallman, and Fabian Zetterlund.
What was the last one?
Fabian Zetterlund. That's how he says it.
Gotcha. He's a good player.
He's a good player. But they've lost 4 competent players.
Yeah, they're not that team anymore, and they weren't that good back then. Also, Askarov is injured. And he was basically the only reason that game wasn't 10-0.
Yep.
Actually, 10-2. They did score twice, to be fair.
And that ties into the goaltending conversation I wanted to have. So the Oilers are going to go with Pickard. I'll have a thought on that in just a little bit. Wow. The San Jose Sharks are going with Alexander Gorgiev, who has allowed 14 goals in his last 3 games. 3, 4, and 6. 3, 5, and 6.
It's been changed. They're going with Georgiev Romanov.
The other Gorgiev.
Oh, Georgi Romanov?
Georgi Romanov. According to Daily Faceoff Fantasy, he is the expected starter tonight and was the first goalie off the ice, and they just called up the other fella.
Oh, so maybe Gorgiev got hurt. Well, let's check in on how. All right, 3 games this year for Georgi Romanov. Allowed 2 goals on 11 shots against Washington in a relief appearance. Okay, relief appearance. Allowed 3 goals on 29 shots to the Canes. That's respectable, actually.
What's the next one?
We would take that.
8 goals on 36 shots against the Kings.
And that was like last week.
So
yeah, it's been a tough run for him.
It's like 800 goaltending.
We've been
so unrelated to that, what's the biggest spread Bet365 will give me? -5.5?
We're doing 2.5 tonight. I think we have to.
It's only +140.
Okay, maybe 3.5. That's not nice.
That's why when I put my parlay together, I didn't have the money line in it.
This line has moved like 70 cents since I checked earlier this morning.
Really?
Yeah, I should have locked in my bets earlier.
Yeah, I know not to get into the betting too early, but Draisaitl needs 1 goal to get 400. I know his line sucks, but if you just want a little bit of just something to get you by for the night, it might be a good one to throw
something to cheer for.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to, because Jay, I heard your little whisper there, and it's the topic of my one big take brought to you by Service Credit Union. The Service Big Share Contest is back. It's in full swing, and it's your chance to win $1 million just by saving money, and there's only 1 month left in the contest. Anyone can enter by becoming a member and saving with Service. Every $500 saved gives you 5 entries into the Service Big Share Contest. You can even fast track your savings with a high yield savings account. Shout out to Service Credit Union, service.ca/win. The whiteboard behind you says #we want Ollie. And damn it, I want Ollie. Why Ollie Rodrigue is not starting this game for the Edmonton Oilers is beside me. There is the angle of, let's give a young guy in your system a chance to get his first NHL start. And again, we're heading down the stretch here, playing for home ice advantage, but nothing more than that. Why would you not give Rodrigue this look? Because you should be able to beat San Jose with one of us 3 in net today.
Yeah.
But also, you might need Calvin Pickard for quite some time here. Chris Knobloch saying that Trent Frederick will be the first of the 3 injured forwards to return to the lineup, but we still have no idea when Stuart Skinner could be back.
Any speculation when Frederick plays?
Potentially Anaheim, they said.
Oh, really?
Knobloch kept the door open for Anaheim.
Well, he is on the road. I did go out on a limb yesterday and put out some bold statements on when players would return.
Yes.
After I did so well on my Draisaitl one, I figured I would double and triple down and said Frederick would play in their first game back home against St. Louis because he's from St. Louis. Just kind of makes sense. McDavid being on the road, plays LA on Saturday. Moments later, this came out and I was totally wrong. So McDavid clearly just out there to skate with them on this road trip, which is obviously a positive thing as well. And Frederick, you need to get him in as soon as possible. So it's good to see that he could be back by Monday.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see him finally playing in the game. See a Frederick jersey on the ice instead of in the stands.
Yes.
But back to my one big take, not giving Rodrigue this start when you don't know how much you are going to need Calvin Pickard in the next 2 weeks, and it might be a lot, and he is not a guy who is used to playing a lot. This was a beautiful opportunity to give Pickard a break, give Rodrigue some experience, let the team rally around their young goalie, and you shouldn't be at risk of losing regardless.
It's the weakest competition that we face.
Yeah, and you play the Sharks 2 more times after this this year.
Should be Ollie starts.
Yeah.
Oi.
Again, maybe it's easier for us on the outside because it's not jobs on the line, and Knobloch sitting there going, man, I really want home ice advantage, so we can't squander this. But and Pickard was great against Vegas. But this is
Dallas too.
Yeah.
Calgary, sorry.
This is not, and 909, 929 were his last 2 starts. Again, very, very
That's
good.
all we need.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take those numbers every day of the week for the Oilers. It's not about that. It's about Ollie, and it's about managing Pickard's workload.
I think the other layer to it as well, obviously the schedule says Thursday, Saturday, but it's such a late start today and then an early start on Saturday
Back
too.
to back.
You know, it kind of feels like it.
By the time unless they stay in San Jose tonight, which I guess they probably would.
will, I would guess.
But still, then you have a travel day tomorrow down. Like, I don't know.
How far away is that? 3 hours?
What?
It's like
As a flight?
Oh, I would assume it's just a drive. I know they'll probably fly, but like what's
Oh, the
that?
drive is probably 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah,
really? It's
so
like
it's probably about an
Vancouver.
hour and a bit flight.
Yeah,
No.
I would have gone with Rodrigue tonight, knowing that San Jose was likely going to go with a rookie goalie as well. Like the Oilers have been playing really well recently. Aside from the Seattle game, I feel like they've not been giving up a ton of huge opportunities.
Only
like,
50 shots against in the last 2 games.
There you go. I think they've done well, and their offense now with Draisaitl has been much better. So I would have gone with Ollie, but hey, maybe they get up so much that they just throw him in for the third anyway.
The reverse pull.
Yeah,
That would be hilarious. You're
Do
up
you
like
think that's like the craziest thing to happen, though? I don't think it's like out of the realm of possibility if you get to such an advantage.
Well,
It's
we
like,
do with
let's just-
e-bugs.
Yeah, we've done it with an e-bug.
Nah, I don't think they
don't
do it.
think
I
it'll
also
happen.
think it might be a thing where, like, unless you give them enough of a heads up, you're also like risking a little bit of injury there for no reason for Rodrigue. Like, you got to go in cold, and
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't know, maybe a small thing.
But
But
I would have given this one, especially like Anaheim is giving the Oilers some trouble, and I feel
Yeah.
like we could definitely see him in that game now if they're not going to give him this one. I wouldn't like him against Anaheim.
No, it's like
They're a
put them
good
against
team.
the worst team possible.
Yeah, literally the worst team in the league.
yeah, I'm with you. Okay, there you go. That is my one big take for our friends at Service Credit Union. We did get a very nice super chat that I wanted to get to. All of our super chats, by the way, go to the Ben Stelter Foundation, which I also know is where Kevin McCurdy, Bruce McCurdy's son, is asking for people to make donations in Bruce's name. So that's exactly what our boy Northside Norm did. He said 50 for McCurdy, and if Jan Marker Brown scored tonight, I'll do another 50 tomorrow. And I know Mistaken Mexican said he'll follow him on that as well. So anyways, wanted to say, I know you touched on it yesterday,
Yeah.
Liam. You spent some time on it, but our condolences to the McCurdy family. Saw Kevin yesterday. He was on our flight home from Vegas. But if you want to read a really, really nice tribute to Bruce, his good friend Lowtide wrote a piece at lowtide.ca today. His daily blog is all about Bruce and the friendship they kind of had. So I would direct you there. But obviously a big member of the Edmonton sports media community. We lost them over the last sort of 36, 48 hours here. So our condolences again to the McCurdy family. Let's continue along with our conversation about this hockey game tonight and get to our game notes. They're brought to you by Star Mechanical. It's Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. You can find out more by visiting them online at starmechanical.ca. Residential, commercial, 24/7 emergency service. You know it. They do it well. Over the past 4 seasons, the Oilers have just absolutely throttled the San Jose Sharks. They've played them 12
Except
times.
for that one time.
They've played them 12 times. It is literally just that one time. They're 11-1-0.
That was an important time.
When they needed it more than ever.
That was an important time.
Which one was that? Oh,
Then they
Oh, yeah.
start the season. They finished last because of
Well,
that.
and we gave them San Jose's first win, right? Right.
No,
that was also
that was their
embarrassing, wasn't it?
second win.
Second
They
win.
just
Was it?
won before. The storyline going into it was like, oh, is this going to be San Jose's first win? They were like,
Gosh.
11 or whatever.
So that was obviously the final nail in the coffin of Jay Woodcroft's time as head coach. Even though Edmonton bounced back and beat the Seattle Kraken in their next game, it was too
matter.
late for Woody and Manson.
Yeah.
So you're right. That one blip is certainly a memorable one. I can't believe that slipped my memory. I've done a good job of forgetting it, actually.
A nation vacation, too.
yeah, it
The
was.
Seattle trip. Sorry, go on. I have game notes, too.
Okay, what do you got?
Oh, boy. Okay. Since the start of March, get ready for these facts. Fast facts. San Jose, 30th in goals for per game. Most goals against per game. 23rd best power play, 19%. 27th best penalty kill, 74%. They're also allowing the second most shots at 31.6. Macklin Celebrini, your guy. Probably not going to win the Calder this year.
Lane Hudson, the odds have just
It's nuts.
totally flipped.
He's
It's crazy.
currently plus 900 to win the Calder Trophy on Bet365, which is crazy. But he's having a better rookie season than John Tavares and Jack Eichel and Matty Beniers, who, of course, beat out Stuart Skinner to win the Calder. So there you go. Game notes from Liam.
There you go. The Sharks have improved on last season. They are
Yes,
still
have.
just 20, 44, and 10, but they already have more wins than they had all of last year. So
Congrats.
it is actually interesting, and I'll give
Brick by brick.
I'll give Sharks GM Mike Greer actually a lot of credit here. He's one of the guys who has kind of totally flipped my perspective of him over the last sort of 12 months here. The Wallman bit of business, as much as I love him and I'm happy he's an Oiler, the Sharks getting him for nothing or getting a second-round pick to take him on and then getting a first-round pick to trade him away less than a season later is a really, really nice bit of business. The Tyler Toffoli contract, I think, was great as well, sort of leveraging the California thing and giving Toffoli the bag. Even on a deal like that, as it ages and Toffoli gets closer to his mid-30s, when the cap goes up, it's going to be 5% of the cap. Like it's going to work out to be a fine deal, even if he doesn't age well. They appear to have drafted pretty well. They've brought in some good character guys. They went and made the splash for Askarov. So now you can sit there and look at a blue line that has a guy like Sam Dickinson coming up through the system, as well as some young pieces on the roster. You have your answer in net now. And then you look up front and you have a boatload of young talent, and you're going to continue to draft well for probably this year and one more. The other thing that they're going to have is a ton of cap space, projected at $42 million for this upcoming year. And who knows what happens with Marc-Edouard Vlasic.
Yeah.
Send us the bad contracts.
Well, yeah, but also the other thing, too, is Logan Couture, who I don't think he'll ever play hockey again. Like, he hasn't even been I was reading a thing the other day that, like, he doesn't even show up to the rink anymore. He's the captain. He's been on IR all year, but, like, he didn't go to picture day for the Sharks.
Oh, wow.
So you would imagine Couture's done there, so that's another $8 million that I'm not even going to say they get to spend. Like, you have to spend. They are so far away from the cap floor. They have 2 first-round picks this year, 2 first-round picks next year. I wouldn't be surprised if Greer gets super aggressive here in this next offseason.
I think it's important you have to get better every year, which is a very obvious statement, but you can't just meet the floor every time. You know, you have to get some players to play around Celebrini and Smith, and did a good job with Toffoli. Like, we obviously joked about Balky, good draw, but like a good pro has been around the block a few times. They got the goalie now. Like, they've looked, like you said, to have drafted well. That Sam Dickinson, 91 points as a defenseman this year.
Crazy.
That is nuts. So, yeah, I like what Mike Greer has done, considering the mess that he had and all those bad contracts on the blue line, and he got out of all of them. Besides Vlasic, but yeah, he's done well. So who gets the $8 million deal that he's going to give him this year? He's gonna give someone a nutty deal.
I think he is. And that's actually an interesting tie-in to where I wanted to go with our Sherwood Ford Giant question here on a Sherwood Ford Giant Game Day brought to you by Nation Valet Service. It is free to use, just because you're a Nation citizen and we love you. But never visit the dealership again for your routine car maintenance. Sherwood Ford will drive to your home or your place of work, pick you up, drive your vehicle back, do the work, drive it back to you. Bing, bang, boom. It's easy. It's free. You can book today at sherwoodford.ca or by hitting the link in our bio.
Who am I? Who am I right now?
You're a Sherwood Ford customer.
I'm a guy who's using Nation Valet Service today right now. This is what it looks like.
Oh, is that why your truck's not here?
I wonder
Get
what
an oil
you're
change.
doing.
And I'm just chilling.
Chilling like
It's
a
that
villain.
beautiful.
It is that. It really
Doesn't
is that
disrupt
good.
your day.
Does not. I showed up at work. They were waiting. Gave my keys.
See you later.
I'm going to look out the window here in a couple hours, and there's my car.
It's beautiful.
That is nice.
Probably clean, too.
So Frank Saravalli put together his list of top 50 free agents this year. And his projection is that Mitch Marner will get close to, if not more than, Leon Draisaitl if he hits the open market.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good for him.
If he hits the open market. And again, the calculation changes because, and if you can allow me to do some math.
Yes,
let's
please.
say that the Leafs can offer him an 8th year. Let's say the Leafs offer him 8 by 12, which would be, I would say, under what I'd expect. The projection on AFP Analytics is 12.6, but that's a total of $96 million. If Marner wanted to get a total of $96 million from another team in free agency, it would be $13.7 million per year on that contract. So you kind of see how the scales move. If the Leafs are willing to go to 12.5, Marner then would need to get north of $14 million from another team to accrue that same amount of total dollars in the contract.
If he resigns the Leafs, it's because he pants them.
But that 8th year and the Southern Ontario connection and all of that, I think it carries a little bit of weight. If I said even money minus 110, he's a Leaf or he's not a Leaf next year, what would you pick?
He's not a Leaf.
Did at least get out the first round?
Well, that's an interesting
That's the
part of this
ultimate
too.
question.
Yeah.
Even if they get to the second round, I think he stays. First round, he's gone. I think that's my take on it. Eventually, I don't know. Maybe you don't have to move on from me. You just keep rolling the dice, but you can't just keep rolling it back, right? With the same group every year. when your goaltending is like
Or
not ever been that great.
well, this year it has been, which is interesting.
Yeah, we'll see though. Like,
You wouldn't take their goaltending right now?
I don't know. I'd have to see it in the playoffs. I think it's good. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, Joseph Wall was sick against the Oilers, and whenever that was. But
Okay, so that also then leads me. Frank's top 50 free agents. The full top 10, by the way, Marner, then Besser, and then John Tavares.
$8 million for Tavares.
Who, yeah, the projection is 3 by 8.
That's kind of like what Joe Pavelski got. No, when he was at this.
Yeah,
stage
he
of
was
his
getting 3
career?
by 6. I think
3
was
by
his
6.
deal with
And I
the
guess with the inflation of the cap going up,
Yep.
similar. It's not that bad, I guess.
Duchesne. Neil Pionk is the first
Pionk.
defenseman on the board. That was a guy we talked about the Oilers kind of needing until they got Jake Wallman, and now you're not sitting there talking about that at all, really. Sam Bennett at 6 projects out to be a 6 by 6.3, which is actually a pretty good deal because even if he ages to be, and again, he's how old? 28. It's like a pretty young UFA. Even if he ages to just be a third line player, by the end of that deal, that's actually what a good third line player will get paid.
Yeah.
So I don't mind Bennett at 6 by 6.3. Nick Ehlers is in at 7. Brad Marchand at 8 projects to a 3 by 7.8.
Ehlers is a shock.
Oh, that's
who's getting the money in San Jose. Good player.
yeah, really
Very
good
good
player.
player.
I could also
Injury
see
prone, but good player.
Yeah.
I could see either him or
Danish.
I could see him or Bennett
Yes.
or both ending up there. And San Jose just being like, what do you guys both want? 8 mil apiece? Don't care. Sure. 8 by 8. Here you go. And like Bennett's a guy who I think that character you'd like in a young locker room. And Ehlers is a guy who you saddle with one of the youngsters and watch him rip 30 goals.
Yeah, he'd be a good fit there. I almost think the other Florida player there, Ekblad, might be the one who would go to San Jose.
Yeah, I think
Rather than
he's the
Bennett.
guy. He's my biggest buyer beware on this whole top 10.
Oh, big time.
Because I think you're right. Some rebuilding team, or even worse, I could see a team like Detroit going to him and being like, how does 8 by 9? We'll give you the Chikrin deal. And
Yep.
boy, are you going to regret that contract.
And you get to play with Justin Hall or Jeff Petrie. Pick your poison.
But to tie this back into the Oilers, I went on, shout out to our boy Hart from Puckpedia. I used the My GM tool on Puckpedia, and I built a couple of different lineups for the Oilers just to sort of illustrate how much cap space they could have to spend this summer. Then we can talk about some potential free agents. So the first one I did was Evander Kane is back. And the playoffs go well, so you're fine keeping Evander Kane and Adam Henrique's back too, because I do think there's a world where if the playoffs go bad, you could look to dump a guy like Adam Henrique or move on from him. But if Kane's not bought out, Henrique stays. They have this new guy, David Tomasek,
Yeah, Big D.
and they want to run with a full 13 forwards, 7 defensemen, 2 goalie roster. They pay Bouchard. We're not arguing about this. This is just my prediction. They pay Bouchard 9.5. Do we have the first lineup? So this is what I have them at for the first one. It's a full lineup here, 7 defensemen, 13. This comes with $925,000 in cap space. So you bring up Savoy. Again, the forward group is largely the same outside of that. You don't have Jeff Skinner, but Janmark's here for a full year. The blue line, I have Emberson at 1.3, Bouch at 9.5. This has $900,000. I do realize that Maxim Berezkin,
Who?
the Russian guy who's lighting up KHL.
yeah, something like that.
Berezkin. I stumble on his name every time. But you could swap him for Max Jones because he'd be an entry-level contract. And I did talk to Bruce Kurlock about this. He said he thinks Berezkin's here, and he said he is a top 9 player.
Okay,
So-
right away?
Yep.
Interesting.
So, again, swap him for Jones. You have $1 million then in cap space because it's an ELC. And that's kind of what your lineup's looking like. There is a world where you can create some cap space if you're the Edmonton Oilers. That's the second lineup I built. It is basically Max Jones is off. Noah Phillips not here because you're going to run with a bare minimum 12 forwards, 7 defensemen, and 2 goalies, and you have bought out Evander Kane in this scenario. This lineup here, which again, the top 9 with Maxim Berezkin. Fourth line is kind of whatever you want the fourth line to look like right now. You need to sign 1 forward in this scenario, and you have $4.5 million in cap space.
So, sorry, just to clarify, this is you not signing anybody. This is just you showing what the roster could be without making free agent moves.
Without a free agent
Gotcha.
move, this is Evander Kane bought out. This is Tomasek in your lineup. You're going to run 12, 7, and 2 as your, again, you're not going to carry a full lineup, call it.
Gotcha.
You have $4.5 million to fill. Call it that final spot in your lineup. What's interesting is when I go pull up Frank's article on, what some projected free agents are going to get, these are the free agents who fall into that $4 to $4.5 million range. You have Mikhail Granlund, Next on the list would be Jonathan Drouin. Okay, or Yanni Gourde as well. Drouin, Gourde, Roslovic, Taylor Hall, Pius Suter, Alex Iafallo, and then he has Trent Frederick projected to 4.41 over a 4-year deal. Would you sign Trent Frederick to that?
Yeah, I think I would. But you got to see him play, obviously, but just...
Yeah.
I love how all in you are on him like I am.
Well, you got your jersey.
I'm
you already
committed.
lost Holloway, so I got to back you up on this one.
Okay, we can't lose this guy.
No, we can't. Juja, Holloway, now Frederick. It can't be the trifecta. But I would keep him just based off the players you said. Like, any of them that much better? Like, would any of them be an upgrade? And like, obviously, we got to see what he fully is, and hopefully, we see that sooner rather than later. But I think the Oilers maybe also would be way more intrigued to do it after how poorly it's gone so far, him not being able to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they'll overpay him. Like, that $4 million seems like a decent price. If he gets anything higher than that, then I'd be okay. Good luck in St. Louis, Trent.
Mm-hmm. I think it's interesting. 4.1 again. We haven't seen him play as an Oiler yet, so that was the one thing.
It's coming.
But if it works,
It will.
then yeah, maybe 4 million if you view him as a guy who can play in your top 6 as a winger, like maybe. He's also 27, so I do think there's a world where maybe he takes a shorter term deal to try rebuild some value as an Oiler, and he sits there and goes, the tough part on these is like when a guy hasn't made a lot of money in his career, you'd think he'd get intrigued with like
you give him the extra year to bring the cost down.
And also, too, like, so his season's obviously not gone well for him. He would have had 2 closer back-to-back 20-goal seasons. Say he has a good playoffs. Like, he could be a guy that a team's like, we'll give you $5 million.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you might have to take it based off how the regular season went. It's like recency biased almost.
Yeah,
you know?
my thinking was more like, again, at 27 years old, cap shooting up, if you were to go to him and be like, hey, would you take 2x3 to stay in Edmonton and just play on a cheaper deal, take a chance with us, go on some runs, and when you're 29, you could be getting, $8
million.
Yeah, like who knows what
Something
you had,
crazy.
right? Like, are you going to get some team to bite on you because you won a Stanley Cup here and have a 30-goal season under your belt now? And again, not that I fully believe Trent Frederick is capable of that, but like Pat Maroon almost did, right? Like, you can slide in this Oilers top 6 and find your way to 30 goals.
Gotta, keep working on the brother.
Yeah.
He's got our back.
Trent's brother loves Edmonton.
Yeah, maybe we should make him a regular on the show.
We should.
That would be...
Pay him $1,000 a hit and say, that better be a sweetheart deal in the summer.
90% of that's going to Trent, right?
Yeah. Wink. Can we get the Oilers in trouble for cap circumvention? Anyways, I just thought it was interesting to run through the numbers. I know I get down the rabbit hole of being a little too nerdy with all of this stuff, but then the summertime's a full playoff run away too, which can obviously change things. But yeah, the idea of, if you want to flash up that lineup one more time, AB, like the second one I did. If you get Frederick for $4 million and you're running McDavid, Hyman, Arvidsson, Draisaitl, Frederick, Savoy, Nuge, Podkolzin, and Bearskin, and then Henrique, Tomasek, Janmark, or maybe that's Corey Perry in the Janmark spot.
Yeah.
Wonder about how many penalty killers you have now that I kind of like read that all through. But still, that's like a pretty good forward group. And you have the money to do it. You just got to make the choice to buy out Kane.
A lot of unknowns.
Yeah, there's a few question marks, but obviously...
Who are your question marks?
Well,
there's
Bearskin.
the 2 new age.
I was
Tomasek.
told he's better than
Ilya Kovalchuk.
I was told he's better than Anton Slepyshev. If you're getting the
High
second
bar.
coming of Tony Slep,
High bar.
I don't know if he skates as well as Slepyshev.
Slep can move.
Yeah, he was
That's
a
fair.
skater. But also, too, like, sorry, Aaron, if you just pull it up one more time. There's an interesting layer to this, and someone, McDowell, brought it up. Goaltending is obviously going to be a topic of conversation, I think, no matter what happens in the playoffs. Like, they're probably going to have to do something. And I wonder if you could cash in quotation marks, on, like, Calvin Puckett. Like, hey, like, who wants a $1 million goalie, and we'll take your late second or third round pick or something. You know what I mean?
No, there's no way.
You don't think
He's
so?
way too replacement level for that.
I just think, like, they're going to have to move on from him.
You're going to have to lose one of your $9 million contracts.
Well, it won't be helpful.
That's the only way it works. Like that, what you just put on there is scary as shit.
For like a forward group?
We have Savoy, rookie, KHLer, and the second coming of Joachim Nygaard.
That'll be it. But he could skate
So
too.
it's like, and we're like, I'm in. Like, this is awesome. Like,
but this lineup
is all wishful thinking.
But this lineup is with $4 million to spare. And again, you could swap, like, I have Tomasek in there because he's signed, but like you go sign a veteran for $1 million. Like, do you feel better if that's Corey Perry with Janmark at center on your fourth line? Probably. Which is probably the insurance policies you build in here. You're going to sign some other vets. I don't think they are just going to, truly trust Tomasek and Bearskin to have two roster spots and be like, we don't need any depth.
I did feel underwhelmed when I saw the email from you about this, but now that you say, like, they've not added anyone, this is just what it possibly could be. Like, you can get that roster up to $6-7 million if you take out the rookies and sign a couple of guys and figure it out from there. Like, the Tomasek will be interesting. Stan Bowman obviously has a pretty good history of signing European players. Panarin, obviously, the standout, but Kubalik was someone they signed from Europe as well. He had a 30-goal season as a rookie. Dominic Cahoon.
Yeah, and he worked out for them for a little bit.
He had 14, 15 goals for them in his rookie season. He
does well. The only thing about Tomasek that, like, again, these guys are always the great unknown, and I do find it funny that, like, we're always a lot higher on them now, and then you get 2 weeks into training camp, and it's usually like, oh, yeah, there's a reason that this guy hasn't played a single pro game in North America, and he's 29. And the other thing that concerns me with Tomasek is, like, these last 2 years in the Swedish Hockey League are great, and I get the point of, like, you don't luck into a good season in that league. It's a really good league. Okay, but why did it take him until 28 years old to finally find any sort of offense in any league, really? That was the first time he scored 20 goals in a season. I know they play shorter seasons there, but again, if you're going to make the jump to the NHL, you better be elite in those other leagues. And I just look at this and go, these are the first 2 years, and again, his 10-year pro career that he's been elite outside or elite in one of these European leagues.
How many goals did he score?
24 in 47 games. I think that projects to like a 12-goal score in the NHL, doesn't it?
It might even be pretty high.
You would take that.
Yeah, I guess.
As a four-liner, you would take that.
I'm more intrigued by this 6'5" guy they signed, Samovic. Samovic.
So here's an interesting layer. I saw this yesterday on X from Russ Jericho. The team that he came from is coached by Craig Woodcroft, who is Jay's brother. Oilers not had a good history of getting
a Trojan
players.
horse then.
Yes.
All right. Should we continue along with the show? We have a new segment we got to do. Although I think you did it yesterday, but it's
I did do it yesterday. Good ad, though.
It's the menu, and is brought to you by our friends at Ninja and the Ninja Crispy 4-in-1 portable glass air fryer.
Meet the Ninja Crispy Portable Cooking System. The power of a full-sized air fryer in the palm of your hand.
It is an all-in-one system that includes a 4-quart, 6-cup Tempware glass container and 2 storage lids. The Ninja Crispy is thermal shock resistant, need that, and can go from frozen to crispy in minutes. With the Ninja Crispy Power Pod, you get the power of a full-sized air fryer in the palm of your hand. The 4-quart container fits 4 pounds of chicken or veggies. You can cook a personal-sized meal in just 7 minutes with this bad boy.
I'm literally going to buy one this weekend.
Can you imagine pulling up to a playoff watch party with all your friends, and you have a portable air fryer that you just walk in with?
Yeah,
that's legit.
I need that, and I want those wings that were inside that.
Yeah,
I am hungry.
Those were good.
Visit their website with the link in our description, and stay tuned for a chance to win a Ninja Crispy for one of our viewers. How about that? Shout out Ninja Crispy. The menu for tonight in the NHL, Toronto and Carolina clinched last night. 2 teams can clinch tonight. Tampa clinches with a win. Colorado can clinch a playoff spot with a win. The games that you all care about right now as the Oilers continue their chase of the LA Kings for second in the division. LA tonight taking on Utah. They are in Utah, where Utah has struggled this year. 16-21 straight up is the Utah Hockey Club at the Delta Center. So the Kings have not been a good road team, but luckily for them, they're playing a not good home team tonight.
Utah has one job to do.
One job, Utah.
One job.
Come on, Dylan Gunther. Do it for this city. You grew up an Oilers fan. You want skating in a skills competition here. That has to mean something to you.
Give your best tonight. Absolutely. Yeah. Utah, I mean, I don't think they're really holding on to their slim playoff hopes anymore, and I do think they could. Oh, no, they can't quite get eliminated tonight. But, yeah, Utah, hopefully they can play the role of spoiler because, again, the Oilers, you got to take care of business tonight. Like, this is not a game. Again, we did the whole Pickard-Rodrigue thing. If you're going with Pickard and you lose this game, it is such a colossal failure. So you need that.
Off the rails fully.
So Saturday, the Oilers play LA. If the Oilers win, they will be tied on points, but the Oilers would have the head-to-head and therefore go ahead of them, correct?
They're tied with points right now, I just saw.
Nope, they're 2 points back. The Oilers are 2 back of the Kings.
No games in hand, sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you win tonight, you're tied with them. LA does hold the tiebreakers, which isn't great.
They do?
Yeah, they have 37 regulation wins. The Oilers only have 31.
Wow.
Yeah, because the first tiebreaker, I'll make sure I get that right. Regulation wins is tiebreaker number 1. So you're going to have to, you can't even, it's a 2.5 point gap, really, because you need to pass them. You can't just be tied with them. So
Do you know the Oilers need one more win to set the NHL record for the most overtime wins in a season?
Leon Draisaitl's already set the record for most OT winners.
I don't know if you won that record. Not the OT one, like the most wins in overtime in a season. Like, it's good to get them. You get the 2 points, but like, means you're not wrapping it up.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, well.
Yeah, that's fair. So they've won 12 times in the extra frame this year, all of them coming in overtime. They have a record of 12-5 when games get past regulation.
Not bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
Safe place.
I'd rather have the most overtime wins than the most overtime losses.
Hey,
and
me too.
How many times, like, you look at the standings right now, they only have 5 OT losses. LA has 9.
Remember last year, Montreal, wasn't it? They had a ton of
Yeah,
OT
a
losses.
ton. I think
yeah.
Montreal, no, they don't have a ton this year. Pittsburgh has 11. Holy crap. Damn. Vancouver's won 13 times in overtime, lost 13 times in overtime this year. Also, the Western Conference playoff race is slowly getting out of hand.
Yeah, do we have a magic number yet?
I'm not 100% sure what the Oilers' magic number would be, but I was talking more like St. Louis has won 10 games in a row. They are now tied with Minnesota.
They can stop.
Calgary is 7 points back of St. Louis with only 2 games in hand. So
they're done.
They could only close the gap to 3 points if they win their games in hand. It's kind of become it's not really much of a race anymore.
Yeah, they're toast.
Mm-hmm.
St. Louis Vegas will be a really fun series.
Mm-hmm.
I just went back and looked. So last year, Montreal had 16 overtime losses, and they had 10 overtime wins. So they went to overtime 26 times last season.
Wow, that would have been
A roller coaster.
well, bet the draw.
10 more points, they still would have been 8 points out of the playoffs.
Speaking of betting, boys, do you want to get into the Bet365 Game Day Betting Challenge?
Yeah, I had a narrow defeat yesterday. Down to the last rock.
Oh, you were betting on curling.
I bet on curling. I bet over 11.5 in Canada versus Norway. Final score 8-3.
Ooh.
Finished 2 ends early.
They
Couldn't
shook
believe
too
it.
early.
Shook too early.
That sucks.
Canada stole 2 in the final end. It was awful.
All right, let's do it for our friends at Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win is a barn burner, every face-off hat-trick, power play, shot on goal, and every suspenseful moment in between is amazing. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, an official partner of the NHL, download the Bet365 app and use the code NATION to get in. The game must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly. Our updated standings after, I think we all had losses on Thursday. What did you
I
take?
had dry assist and 3 shots.
Oh, and he just scored.
He just scored.
And he didn't hit 3 shots either, I think.
No,
eh?
he did.
Oh, he
had
didn't get
3.
to 4?
He didn't get to 4, yeah. You missed out on yours. Jay, I don't
Narrowly.
know what yours was.
It was
But,
close.
oh, yeah.
close
Minus
was it?
I had -2.5.
2.5.
Oh, yeah.
Tight
It's
one.
never happening. So there's the updated standings. Liam and I neck and
could've.
neck. Jay's
So
just got to hit
close.
one of these grand slams. Honestly, for the sake of the segment,
I want to hit one.
I'm rooting for you to hit one because then the last 5 games or whatever, Liam and I are going to have to swing like crazy to
Love
try
it.
catch you again. It would be very funny. But our picks for tonight.
Tonight's is very plausible.
I like it tonight.
Yeah, I actually do like yours a little bit tonight. But what do I have here? I went a little crazy. I went plus 900, and I got a couple of legs. Oilers on the puck line, easy money. Okay, Hyman and Draisaitl 3 shots. The Oilers should put up 40 shots on this San Jose team tonight.
Yes.
Draisaitl 2 points. It's plus 100. Simple leg. If Draisaitl's gonna have a good game, again, the idea that Arvidsson gets in on the offense isn't crazy either. Plus 900. All pretty reasonable. I didn't get too aggressive with anything. The only risk is the Arvidsson point, but that took it from plus 450 to plus 900. So I'll take doubling up my potential payout in order for that.
Arvidsson's heating up.
He's played really well. Since that Rangers goal he had against the Rangers, he's been a different player.
Game winner against Vegas.
That's right, he did.
Liam.
What'd you think of that?
Oh, it was good.
No,
The
like
call?
The
It
goal.
was the right call.
It was a
yeah.
goal.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I felt like
thought
it
so
was
too.
one of those challenges that was a bit of a reach.
I feel Jack said it on the broadcast that like the game's kind of getting away from them. If they can get this back, then momentum maybe goes back to them, but he didn't. Back to me, sorry, Aaron. Plus 210, the Warman revenge game. Walman point, Walman 2+ blocks, plus 210. Not bad.
There's some like-minded thinking happening around here.
You inspired me on this one.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad I can be an inspiration. I'm glad my betting record could inspire you.
Just parts of it.
Jay went 100-1.
100-1.
But I boosted it up.
Cleaning it, you did, because I did originally didn't have money line on it.
Yeah.
Liam called me out, and I guess you should just do it. And it took it from plus 8,500 to plus 1,000 or 10,000. So
you like the Wallman leg, 1 point for Wallman and 3 blocks for
block
Wallman.
shots. That's what he does for a living.
Yep.
He's also going to get 2 shots on goal.
He had 5 last game. 3 last game.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's shooting the pill, and it's a revenge game. Leon 5+ shots. He's just going to shoot the puck a lot.
Okay.
And the one who's going to let me down, because he let me down on my the last time I had a big one going, was Bouchard 4+ shots. I feel like Bouch is going to rip the pill too tonight.
So worth noting, Draisaitl has hit that mark in 3 of his last 5, so there's some logic there. Bouchard has only hit that mark once in his last 5.
He's due.
Okay.
That means he's due.
Okay.
Playing the math.
Again, 100-1, and it is Wallman point, Wallman 3 blocks, 2 shots for Wallman, Dry 5 shots, Bouch 4, money line for the Oilers, 100-1. You need 6 things. 6 things need to break your way.
All those guys can do that.
They're all more than capable.
And they've done it recently enough.
If one's gonna hit, it has to be tonight. Like against the San Jose Sharks. Like
you just hope so. You just hope we don't get up like 5-0 and it's all like, bottom 6 scoring, and then they just take the foot off the gas in the third period.
You almost won a game like last time. Yeah. The Oilers have to shoot the puck so much. San Jose,
I want a close game, actually. I need this to be like a 5-4 game.
Yeah, that would be big for you. I don't think it'll get there.
No, but...
Especially with Alexander Romanov in goal.
I thought it was Georgie. Yep. It's Georgie Romanov.
I don't think it matters.
That's a decent point. Who was the goalie that the Oilers played last year?
Magnus Krona.
And his fiance or his wife has like a TikTok account where she talks about being a wife or girlfriend, a wag.
A wag.
And she did like TikTok. She was like behind the scenes of his first NHL game. They was just throttled him like 8-1.
Pulled in the first period.
Yeah, didn't make it out of the
one for
first.
Magnus. He got traded.
Really?
He was in Nashville for Askarov trade.
Oh, really?
I think.
Okay.
Let me look.
Good for him. San Jose, they've actually outshot their opponent at 5-on-5 in 3 of their last 4. They did have a stunning win against the Leafs in a shootout, I believe.
Those 2 shootout goals, Celebrini and Smith called unreal.
So it was like, whoa, here we go. Here come the Sharks. And then they lost 6-1 and 8-1 their next 2 games. Yeah. And then they had a close game against the Ducks. But yeah, no, it was indeed not here come the Sharks.
It just reminded me of the Here Come the Oilers. That little era we had.
Yeah.
Celebrini's car in like the last week got hit by the New York Ranger bus.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in the parking garage and the Rangers bus hit him.
Nice. That just sums up the season, really, doesn't it?
Yep. Okay, we got 2 more things to do before we wrap up the show, gentlemen. Actually, 3 more things to do. We're very, very busy boys here on a Sherwood Ford Giant game day. The first one we have to do is for our friends at Safeway. It is Thursday. It's your deadline to get your picks in, everybody. So go download the Safeway app and play Safeway My NHL Picks. It's your weekly chance, or you can win weekly prizes. You can also win the big one, which is a trip for 4 to a 2025 NHL season opener of your choice. A new slate of games opens up every Thursday from now till the end of the regular season. You are running out of time. You can get in on grocery offers from NHL supply partners. You can also get in on up to 150,000 Scene Plus points, which Liam loves. He's a big Scene Plus point guy, and he's been on a run. You went 4-1 again last week. What are your picks this week?
What are my picks this week? Did you get them, Aaron? Sorry, I forgot what they were already. Oilers to win tonight. Okay. Carolina to win tomorrow against Detroit. Montreal to beat Philly on Saturday. Don't remember making that one. No. I don't know.
No.
Okay,
this is you.
I picked Edmonton.
I also have the Oilers twice. This is me.
Yeah, that's you. Let me look at what I did.
Flawless execution, boys. I have the Oilers twice. I got Montreal over Philly on Saturday, Calgary to beat the Sharks because they stink, and Carolina to beat Detroit. So there you go. Those are my 5 picks for our friends at Safeway.
Here we go. So I did Edmonton to win tonight, Dallas to beat Pittsburgh tomorrow, Washington to beat the Islanders on Sunday, Edmonton to beat Anaheim Monday, Colorado to beat Vegas on Tuesday. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. Yep, that's it.
We're good. Those are our picks if you want to tell. We're trying to win Safeway points. Scene Plus points.
I need 8 more wins before the end of the regular season.
Yeah.
To get 2,500 team points.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for you, buddy.
Thanks.
Hopefully the Oilers take
All
care
the
of one of
best.
those 8 for you tonight.
That's right.
Yeah. Let's hope so.
What's Trending is brought to you by our friends at Charm Diamond Centers. You can find them online, charmdiamondcenters.com. You can also get a custom ring built and delivered in less than 4 weeks through Charm and their Masterpiece program. I am taking Amber in on Saturday with her ring to get it cleaned again because that's one of the many great services they offer at Charm Diamond Centers. So find them. They got a location in West Edmonton Mall. You can find them there or find them online. Local sports. The Edmonton Oil Kings are up 3-1 on the PA Raiders.
That is crazy. A 2-7 series. And the Oil Kings took it again last night. 3-2, I think, the final. Back-to-back.
Yep.
3-2 wins.
So now they got to go back to PA for Game 5.
Yeah, which is going to be, that's a tough rink.
I was watching the highlights.
Good burgers, though.
They do have good burgers. I've been to the outhouse a
I know,
couple of
that's why I
times.
said.
Yeah.
They're up 3-1. They got to go to PA for Game 5. I was watching the highlights this morning. I think we got to support them a little more. I know it's weird because the bowl is so big that people spread out. But if you want to go, support the Oil Kings, and I'll just say, go sit lower down. Let's just pack those first 10 rows. Give it a bit of a vibe.
It did look like there was maybe a few more than usual.
Yeah.
But what day was it yesterday? Wednesday night.
Yeah.
The curling was on.
Classic.
Maybe if they come back for Game 6, maybe we'll try and figure something out.
Yeah, maybe we can go and we'll go sit in the stands.
I would love to go.
They're up 3-1 in the series?
Up 3-1.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But PA have they probably overachieved this year, to be fair. They got some good players, though. Good local guys.
NHL. Ovi is 3 away. He is within a hat trick. He already has a hat trick this year against the Chicago Blackhawks, who are their next opponent on home ice. Ovi hat trick to break the record on home ice. Come on.
Tonight?
No, it's on Friday. 5 o'clock start.
Who do they play?
I'm betting.
Chicago, who he's already got a hat trick against this season.
Ooh.
They're going to feed him.
So, you know what else is interesting? If he can do it next game, he will do it in one fewer career game than Wayne Gretzky.
That is why.
So I said this to Gregor and Frank a couple of times because I've been tracking this because I think it'd be cool. And Gregor gave the counterpoint, and Frank's with him on this, where he said, yeah, but Gretzky didn't score his final 8 career games. So it's not actually like he'll do it in fewer games than Wayne because Wayne did it 8 games earlier. My counter argument is Wayne could have scored in those games. That's still 8 games where he was held goalless. If Ovi didn't score his first 8 career games, would we be starting the count later?
No, they have a point.
They do, but I have
In terms of the amount of games it took him to score, you can't deny that.
Yeah,
but he had 8 more games to add on to his total.
but I guess he broke the record 8 games.
He did. Well, he would have broken the record however long before that when he passed Gordy.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no, no, they're not wrong.
But I'm not either.
No, I think
You are.
If Wayne, he was held goalless in 8. You can
if
just
he played, it's interesting.
he played those games.
But he scored
set the record in
894
that many
in
games.
his game total -8.
But that's not when because he was already
so
he was already holding the record in one of those 8 games. He could have just scored again, and then it would have been even tougher for Ovi to get there. That's my logic. Is
But
like
in how many? If the question is, in how many games did it take for Gretzky to score 894 goals? What is your answer?
I'd say his career games. Because again, if Ovi hadn't scored his first 8 career games, could I then sit there and be like, oh well, Ovi did it in fewer games than Wayne? Because look, he didn't score his first 8 games. No, because he could have scored in those games. You don't get credit for the games you don't score in. I have logic here. The chat's agreeing with me.
So actually, here's a fun little fact. So Gretzky's last year, he scored 9 goals in his final season, which was 98-99.
Yeah.
How many goals did he score in the 99 portion of the season?
3?
3. Jay, any guesses?
9.
He scored 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't know. I
well-read.
thought that was interesting. I thought it was going to be like, oh, he just went on a drought. But like, he scored against the Islanders on March 29th. That was his last one. And then before that, it was February 4th.
His last few years, he was just low goals, high assists.
He did finish with 53 assists that year. Year before, he had 23. But yeah, he was like, no more.
Can I say something that might piss some people off? It's because the goalies got better.
Oh, he got older.
Couldn't fire home those ice burners. I'm kidding. I'm just joking. Other thing I had in what's trending, the Toronto Blue Jays might be back. And I told you to not let me get to this point, but they're 5-2 and leading the American League East.
I saw that guy cried the other day.
Roki Sasaki?
Yeah.
Damn right he cried. That's what you get. You want to play in LA? You don't pitch well? Toronto would have embraced you with open arms.
Probably. Like Alec Manoah has been making a comeback now for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And he's always welcome.
Yep.
I think.
love Manoah.
He's not on the team anymore, is he?
He's recovering from Tommy John. Should be back in July.
That makes sense.
So the Blue Jays are first in the AL East with 5 wins. There is a division in the National League.
How many games are left?
155.
Okay.
Plenty of time to keep building on it. There is a team, the NL West, has 2 teams who are still undefeated. The Dodgers are 8-0. Otani walk-off the other day. Padres are 7-0. Wow. The Giants are 5-1, and they're 2 games back of the first spot in the division. The Diamondbacks are 4-2. They're close to the basement in their division. And you compare it to the American League Central, where all 5 teams are off to 2-4 starts.
Did the Minnesota Twins have a win yet?
2-4, tied for first.
Because there was that thing, wasn't there, where I forget what the governor's called, but he was like, ready for a 162-win season, and they were 0-5 or whatever it was.
Guardians 2-4, White Sox 2-4, Royals 2-4, Tigers 2-4. So baseball might be a little broken.
So how many teams make the playoffs again? 8?
Yeah.
So could
6.
Oh wow.
But you're auto in if you win your division. So one of those garbage teams in the Central is going to get in, which is very funny.
So is there 2 wildcard teams then?
3 and 3. 3 division winners, 3 wildcard.
Gotcha.
What's trending? The economy.
Yeah, let's get into this.
Wow.
How about that
Thoughts?
yesterday? Huge.
You can be like, you remember when you used to watch like the morning news and Angus Watt would come on and give you like the breakdown of the Sox? Can you do that for our show?
I came home on a flight from Vegas yesterday. You want me to know what's going on with the world's economy right now?
Did you see that
Kind of.
thing?
I normally do pay attention.
Yeah. Well,
Educate me, and I can give you my response.
Well,
I know the Canadian dollar's gotten stronger today.
So should I hold on to my U.S. cash for a little bit or just do the swap now?
hard to say.
Because I came back with more than I went down with.
Oh, that's good.
So did
news.
you.
Yeah, I came back flush.
You missed my lead today. I was really hoping you'd see it. I said, Oilers versus Sharks. I haven't seen a mismatch this bad since Waz in the craps table.
Oh, God.
3rd time now we've had to say that on the show today.
It's a really good one.
I'm
though.
holding on to it. Not for it to appreciate. It's
You
the
like
next
that.
time every time you convert money, you lose.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
Yeah. I have another very good What's Trending for you.
Okay.
There is a band that is coming to Edmonton in September.
Arkels.
Nope.
Oh.
The Arkells.
They're coming in August.
Max.
Aqua?
Aqua. Coming to Edmonton.
Commonwealth?
No. Close. River Cree.
My guess was Starlight Room.
Yeah.
So.
Aqua's coming to Edmonton, Jay.
Amazing.
Nation night out. Okay, it's a Sherwood Ford Giant game day. That means we got game notes from our friends at Sherwood Ford the Giant. Let's take a listen.
Evan Bouchard has scored 8 points in the last 5 games against the Sharks. Let's go, Bouch!
I'm back. Leon Draisaitl is back in a big way. Leon Draisaitl has only been held pointless in 3 games since December 5th, scoring 73 points over that time period. Go Oilers!
Calvin Pickard is 3-1-1 in 5 career games against San Jose.
There you go. Shout out to our friends at Sherwood Ford the Giant. Also, shout out to Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Just a stone's throw away down the street, right in the heart of Sherwood Park. Their Price Thaw event is going on now. Massive sales on motorcycles, boats, and ATVs. Our keys to victory every game day are brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Key to victory tonight against the Sharks, boys, then we'll wrap.
Key to victory against the Sharks, just outscore them. You can score 1 million on this team. Again, Romanov is playing. If LA's scoring 8, the others can score 9.
Ooh.
Do not play down to their level.
No, you can't.
Please
Their
don't.
level is so low.
I know. Just don't.
And my
Just
thinking,
don't.
my thinking on this, and we see the Oilers be guilty of this sometimes, you can't get cute. Like sometimes they want to overpass the puck, and you're right, they play down to their level. They almost like you can get cocky with it tonight. It's the end of the season. Crush their spirit. You got to play them a few more times. Who cares? Score 10. Let's go.
I'm with you.
Pump them.
And also too, you can kind of set a tone for the next 2 games because they're both at home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would do that.
No, sorry. One of them's at home. One's back in San Jose. They end the year in San Jose. That might be a Condors game. If they beat the
It
Kings,
depends how that Kings game
Just
goes.
send
yeah.
the bus.
if they
Don't
beat the
even get on
Kings
the plane.
on the 14th and are like 3 points clear of them for the division, that is a Condors game on the 16th. But tonight it is an Oilers game. It is an 8:30 start. Boardsies live 7:30 with pregame, postgame immediately following. Oh boy, what a postgame!
Yeah. Come back from Vegas. You want to stay up till 1 a.m. probably today? Zach Lang going to join me.
All right, beautiful stuff. Find that, again, right here on the Oilers Nation YouTube. That's a wrap on today's edition of the show. Enjoy the hockey game tonight. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and we'll see you tomorrow. Noon Mountain, Oil Up.